You just splashed, literally. Aquaville, where are you?
Over water?
Did you just
Nope.
fly past me?
I don't think so. I have no idea
Well,
what I'm doing.
I'm looking on someone, and I know there's someone behind me, so I really hope that's you. Oh, there we go. Did you get shot at, or were you shooting?
Neither.
I was shooting.
Well,
Well, I
not
know
the
the
wrong
fucking
guy.
problem is my track IR is like on the wrong sensitivity. Oh, just blocked out. Nice.
Pilot snipe.
Oh, what a luck!
That's not luck, homie. Oh shit. Oh. Okay. Nice. There
Whoa!
we go.
No!
He's got a missile in. You're about to steal my. God
Yep.
damn it.
What is people flying?
Woo!
Oh, why did I go to the... Why do you fly all over the place? How are you even doing that is my question.
It's just forcing the overshoot. That's all it is.
No, but you're flying like, it's literally weird.
Really shitty, you want to say?
No, I did not. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I have the parachute out.
Who's flying shitty?
Oh man, I don't even know how I pressed that. Alright, that wasn't fun.
Listen to like a Breaking the Habit Linkin Park like synth piano cover.
Nice.
Fucking sick.
We got an interloper in there. We're about to both get smoked by missiles, I think.
When it is smoke.
Are you playing off flying good, or you? Okay, there we go.
Now I'm just shitty pilot.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Stolen. You're fired.
Oh, fucking guy. I wanted to kind of show this fight in attack view, but this is one of the few fights that kind of started in a neutral merge. One of the problems with these kind of everyone for themselves situations that you end up getting picked off by people you didn't even know you were in a fight with a lot of times, which is, I guess that's kind of realistic from a training perspective in some regards. So I'm starting up with Aussie. We're right on the deck over Lake Mead, right? 15 degrees offset around there. I'm kind of maintaining this aspect because I'm out of heaters, so there's no chance for me for a forward quarter missile shot. I'm worried about him, and I wanted to give myself a little bit of opportunity to maneuver out of the missile, hit some flares, and hopefully be able to evade if he did get a shot off. He doesn't. He wants this to be a guns fight. And kind of look at our airspeeds, right? We're both really high energy for an F5, right? Anything over 400 knots, you're pretty much good to go. But 511, 566, he came in off this large dive, so that's why he's got the energy advantage to me. But it's not that significant. You'll see it's easily kind of negated. So we start off. I got my lift vector directly onto him, right? And I'm anticipating at this point. This is going to be a flat turn fight, and Ozzy has other ideas. So he initially goes into this high, I'm going to call this a yo-yo. It's not quite an Immelman because he definitely does have a lateral offset here. And you can kind of see I almost initially picked that up immediately, and our lift vector, I still trying to maintain my lift vector on him during the whole time, boom, which is, what you kind of have to do when you're just doing an energy fight. And I maintained this like about 7G. We're both kind of maintaining 7G turns. Yeah, so kind of bleeding off energy as the energy, and look how quickly our energy states are dropping. His drops very quickly though, and I can only anticipate that's because I'm thinking this yo-yo he's doing is kind of increasing the radius of the turn he's in a little bit. And by the time we get to the top, now this is funny. I had no idea I was in a fight with Soviet at the time too. But yeah, I'm completely unaware of that attempt at my aircraft. And so we come over the turn, and I have a bit of a height advantage over him, probably only a couple hundred feet, right? But that's enough to, I can convert that altitude energy pretty quickly. And he flattens out this turn. And even though he's got a little bit more velocity than I do, this second merge, right? We have this lateral separation. We're never going to be able to get a shot off there. And now we are finding ourselves in a one circle fight. So here we go. We both take it down, right? Which is the only thing you can do. We're both at, sub 300 knots on the F5. F5 is not a good aircraft post-stall. It has almost no post-stall maneuverability. About sub 180 knots, you have very little control authority. The ability to get the nose where you need to is almost nil, right? Where like Mirage 2000 or even F-18, you got a lot more options. Even F-15, you can do some pretty goofy stuff post-stall, especially with all that thrust, right? F-5 doesn't have that. It's a pretty low thrust to weight aircraft. Its advantages are it's lightweight and its roll rate is just lethal. So we both take it down. And again, trying to maintain our lift vectors on each other. We're doing a reasonable job at it. And I'm picking up a little bit more energy here, right? And I think it's just because I had this God's G, right? I could use the gravity to my advantage to kind of start picking up airspeed where he didn't have as much time with that maneuver. And that 50 knots comes into play pretty significantly here. So we got a tertiary merge, right? Boom. Still, decent lateral separation. 1,200 feet is what's shown. Here's Sylvia just trying his hardest to get one of us, and we merge again. And again, now it's a one circle fight. We take it to the deck. We are out of altitude, right? We don't have our altitude anymore. So there's no more room there. Whatever energy state we have here is pretty much what we're going to be dealing with for the remainder of this fight. And I got 311 knots. He's at 259. And that's significant because you're going to see here that this next merge is critical, right? This is something that's so important to be comfortable with in an F5. Because the F5 doesn't have, like we already talked about, thrust to weight ratio is not its advantage, right? I'm not the best F5 pilot in the world. I don't fly it that often. I love flying it. But one thing I have learned is that you have to get good at these high aspect front quarter snapshots, because very often this is where you're going to find the fight. You're not going to be able to chase down a target. If I'm flying against an F-18 or an F-15, if he turns his tail and just puts on the burners, he's gone, right? And he's going to have all the advantage. He can go up, he can go laterally at that point once he gets enough separation, and I'm not going to be able to maintain a firing solution on him. So you really have to be comfortable. These quick snapshots is where you're going to get your kills. And the 20 mils, you need a little bit of time on target with them because their fire rate is not nearly as rapid as an M61. And I just put my my Pipper in front of his aircraft, squeeze the trigger, and I just let him fly into it, right? Boom. And this is honestly how probably 4 out of the last 6 gun kills I've gotten with the F5 over the last 2 days have resulted. It's these high aspect front quarter snapshots in a one circle fight. That's how you got to do it. And there you go. So that's the end of that initial engagement. But it's not over. Now I realize finally that Soviet's behind me, because those actually flew in front of my canopy. So I'm like, oh, damn it. And there's some things I could have done. What I do, and it's not always the best option, very seldom the best option, is I like these defensive barrel rolls. I go up, I get into a barrel roll, I throw a lot of rudder, and it's a really unsettling maneuver if you're trying to maintain a firing solution on the F5. It's a small target. Its roll rate is just fierce, even at lower speeds. And I anticipated he had a lot more energy than me just because he was coming in hot. So I'm able to force the overshoot. And now it's just a matter of just getting that airspeed back. But unfortunately for me, Ozzy's spawn is very close where we are, and he smokes Soviet with a heater shot. So now I got another problem. I got Ozzy, who's pissed, and he comes in hot, really hot. Look at this, 442 knots, 9 Gs. I'm at 242. I don't even think I was trying. I think I just see him coming in, and I just well, this guy's really hot. I'm just going to try to break any firing solution he has. I pop some flares. Maybe that's what helped me not get hit by the heater, but I just don't think it was Seeking. He goes up. That is absolutely the correct thing for him to do. Look at this. That's awesome. That's what you got to do if you have a 300 knot delta on your target, right? Because he's taken all that kinetic energy and he has converted it into potential energy now. And this height advantage is all he needs to be able to get around on me. I'm just lucky that Ock's here, and I think Ock fires a couple heaters that absolutely were not Seeking because he should have gotten that kill. And then he tries for a couple frantic snapshots, and he actually ends up tagging him. Boom! He pulls a lot of G's right here. Is able to get a few rounds on Ozzy's tail, and by Ock, and that's enough to distract Ozzy from what he's doing. And bad things start happening for him. And I'm able to now kind of reverse this energy situation. Ock is now in super low energy state because of all that crazy maneuvering he had to do just to get around on Ozzy's tail, which is pretty funny. There's Ozzy, boom. And I have a decent advantage on him, right? 285, 270. I'm just going to keep this lag pursuit going until I can get a firing solution. It's that simple. Except, like I said, we're right by Ozzy's spawn, and here he comes. And he is in very, very good position to get a couple heater shots off, which is exactly what he does. So I think he's drawn to Ock first because Ock hit those flares, so I think that's why he's padlocked on him. He kind of bisects this dogfight, comes around on this low energy turn. He's got lots of spacing now. And that's the end of this fight. Just about the time when I was probably getting into a decent firing solution for Ock. Right, look at this. That was going to be the kill because I have energy advantage, everything like that. And here comes one heater. Boom. And then as soon as he can get tone, here comes the other heater. And there are things I could have done to prevent that from happening. I'm disappointed I didn't try to stay on the deck. I think if I had reversed the turn on this the other way, I may have been able to try to force an overshoot. He wasn't in that high of an energy state, so he probably would have been able to maintain with it, but still a really fun fight. And it's just kind of some things I've learned for the F5. Like I said, I'm not the best F5 pilot, but these are how I try to win fights in the F5.